Start with a short kirtan. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Okay, let's start our class. This is a big flowchart is going on here. And today we are going to discuss first canto, 9th chapter, verse number 25th. This is talking about instructions to Yudhishthira on rulership. This is what this sloka is about. These are words. We'll start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatin Vyasam Tado Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangam Rangayate Girim Yat Krupatvam Mahamande Sri Guru Tinataramam Paramanantamadhavam. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, Text 25. Anybody is ready, they can repeat after. Suta Uvacha.
Sutta Uvacha.
Suta Uvacha.
Sutta Uvacha.
Yudhishthirastad Akarnya.
Yudhishthirastad Akarnya.
Yudhishthirastad Akarnya.
Yudhishthirastad Akarnya.
Shayanam Sharapanjare.
Shayanam Sharapanjare.
Shayanam Sharapanjare.
Shayanam Sharapanjare.
Apruchad Vividhan Dharman.
Apruchad Vividhan Dharman.
Apruchad Vividhan Dharman.
Apruchad Vividhan Dharman.
Rishinam Chanushrunvatam.
Rishinam Chanushrunvatam.
Rishinam Chanushrunvatam.
Rishinam Chanushrunvatam.
Thank you, Prabhu. Word meaning, translation and purpose. Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sutta Uvacha, Sri Sutta Goswami said, Yudhishthira, King Yudhishthira, that Akarnya, hearing, Shayanam, laying down, Sharapanjare, on the bed of arrows, Apruchad asked Vividhan, multifarious, Dharman, duties, Rishinam of the Rishis, Cha and Anushranvatam, hearing after. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, Maharaj Yudhishthira, after hearing Bhishmadeva speak in that appealing tone, asked him in the presence of all the great rishis about the essential principles of various religious duties. Purport. Bhishmadeva, speaking in that appealing tone, convinced Maharaj Yudhishthira that he was very soon passing away. was very soon passing away, and Maharaj Yudhishthir was inspired by Lord Sri Krishna to ask him of the principles of religion. Lord Sri Krishna inspired Maharaj Yudhishthir to ask Bhishma Deva in the presence of many great sages, indicating thereby that the Lord's devotee, like Bhishma Deva, although apparently living as a worldly man, is far superior to many great sages, even Vyasadeva. Another point is that Bhishma Deva at that time was not only lying on a deathbed of arrows, but was greatly aggrieved because of that state. One should not have asked any question at that time. But Lord Sri Krishna wanted to prove that his devotees are always sound in body and mind by dint of spiritual enlightenment. And thus, in any circumstances, a devotee of the Lord is in perfect order to speak of the right way of life. Yudhishthir also preferred to solve his problematic questions by asking Bhishmadeva rather than ask anyone else present there, who was seemingly more learned than Bhishmadeva. This is all due to the arrangement of the great wheel carrier Lord Sri Krishna, who establishes the glories of his devotees. The father likes to see the son become more famous than himself. The Lord declares very emphatically that worship of his devotee is more valuable than the worship of the Lord himself. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshmarummilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Tapatakabalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Chakshakanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostume Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhan Sute Devi प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छ कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So very wonderful words I would like to share with you, so many points. And beginning here, Sutta Goswami said, Maharaj Yudhishthir, after hearing Bhishmadeva speak in that appealing tone, asked him in the presence of all the great rishis about the essential principles of various religious duties. Srila Prabhupada says in the purport that Bhishmadeva speaking in that appealing tone convinced Maharaj Yudhishthir that he was very soon passing away. And Maharaj Yudhishthir was inspired by Lord Krishna to ask him of the principles of religion. Lord Sri Krishna inspired Maharaj Yudhishthir to ask Bhishmadeva in the presence of many great sages, like Supreme Lord, is very much encouraging or approving Mahajan's speech, or his guidance, his instructions, his advice is very much required. So Mahajan, who is Bhishmadev, who is a devotee of the Lord himself. So in this way, the Lord is actually initiating the parampara, or a bona fide proper channel, and we should not hear from non-devotees, especially the glories of the Lord, and because it is all vishapuritam, and it is a poison, smeared. They may have their own motives. That's why Lord has, among all the rishis, the Supreme Lord has chosen Bhishmadeva as the guide for Yudhishthir Maharaj. So, although apparently living as a worldly man is far superior to many great sages, even Vasudeva. So Prabhupada says that because he is a Bhaktivedanta Swami, he knows, he read all the Vedas. He had been given the title as Bhaktivedanta. And he purported that Bhishmadeva is even superior to Vasudeva also, because he is one of the Mahajans. And he knows A to Z of all the Lord. and his paraphernalia. That's why Supreme Lord Krishna has chosen Bhishmadeva to give all the principles of religions to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Now this is the transfer of encyclopedia to Yudhishthira Maharaj, because the Supreme Lord has chosen Yudhishthira as the right king and virtuous king and very pious king. And this dharma has to remove all the adharma. That's why the Lord has chosen him. In the meanwhile, Yudhishthira Maharaj also has to undergo a kind of training. Normally, a bank officer is posted. He is at the beginning 2 years. It is called probationary period for him. He is called PO, probationary officer. And so because he has to be trained properly, it is not just an entrance test you write and you got selected. No, after that also bank gives the training for him. Similarly, the Supreme Lord arranged this training program for the Yudhishthira Maharaj by Bhishmadev Mahajan. So another point is that Bhishmadeva at that time was not only lying on a deathbed of arrows, but was greatly aggrieved because of that state. One shouldn't have asked him many questions at that time. Yeah, normally if anybody is in ICU, should we go and ask him and disturb him by asking so many things? Normally it is not allowed. For this reason also, many rich people, they write their property will, and so that they know pretty good that at the time of death, there is a lot of disturbance within the body, kapha, pitta, vayu, and they might take any hasty decision also. That's why when they are in a cool state of mind, itself, they execute this property will. So at the death time, we should not disturb anybody. Here, but Lord Sri Krishna wanted to prove that his pure devotees are always sound in body and mind. How? By dint of their spiritual enlightenment, and they are very strong in their Krishna consciousness. And in any case, they are very strong and without agitating the mind. So Yudhishthira also preferred to solve his problematic questions by asking Bhishmadeva rather than asking anybody else in the assembled sages. As if we can able to refer the previous verses, from the celestial planets and other interplanetary system, also various sages they have gathered there, and they wanted to see how Bhishmadeva was passing the encyclopedia of Krishna consciousness. Principles of religion, they are very eager to hear. And so Bhishmadeva was selected by Yudhishthira Krishna because he is the bona fide person, and he establishes the glories of his devotee. Normally, father would like to see, if a father is a doctor, he wants to see his son to be more famous doctor in the world. Similarly, the Supreme Lord also, since we are all part and parcel of the Lord, Mamai Vamsha Jiva Loke, so Lord also wanted his devotees especially to be much more famous, and he does not mind, he glorifies his devotees. The Lord declares emphatically that worship of his devotee is more valuable than the worship of Lord himself. This is emphasized by the Supreme Lord himself. I repeat, the Lord declares very emphatically that worship of his devotees is more valuable than the worship of the Lord himself. So if you also refer this nectar of devotion, maybe the 12th chapter, I have just extracted a few paragraphs. I'm just reading out for our enlightenment. In the Padma Purana, there is a nice statement praising the service of the Vaishnavas or devotees. In that scripture, Lord Shiva tells Parvati, my dear Parvati, there are different methods of worship, and out of such methods of worship of the Supreme Person is considered to be the highest. But even higher than the worship of the Lord is the worship of the Lord's devotees. Madbhaktya pujyavi adhikam. This is the Lord's statement. Madbhaktya pujyavi adhikam. Tadiyam samarchanam. Lord says, my devotees' worship is greater than my worship. A similar statement in the third canto, 7th chapter, verse 19 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord also says there, now let me become a sincere servant of the devotees, because by serving them, one can achieve unalloyed devotional service unto the lotus feet of the Lord. The service of devotees diminishes all miserable material conditions and develops within the one a deep devotional love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Skanda Purana, there is a similar statement. Persons whose bodies marked with tilaka, symbolizing conch shell, whale, club, and lotus, like a Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, and who keep the leaves of tulsi on their heads, and whose bodies are always decorated with gopi chandana, even seen once can help the seer be relieved from all the sinful activities. A similar statement is found in the first canto of 19th chapter, verse 33 of Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no doubt about one's becoming freed from all reactions of sinful activities after visiting a devotee or touching his feet or giving him a sitting place. Even by remembering the activities of such Vaishnava, one becomes purified along with one's whole family, and what then can be said of rendering direct service to him? So, like when we go to Mayapur, we must visit our Guru Maharaj, who is sitting on the lotus building. And when we sit there, and all the devotees, disciples of Guru Maharaj, they gather. And when we talk about glories of Guru Maharaj, like, at the beginning, this Mayapur was given to Gurudev by Srila Prabhupada. Now I give you the kingdom. Now you develop it. And how Guru Maharaj and his team have nicely developed Mayapur today. The TVVP has been established very nicely. And when we sit and talk about the glories of devotees, Vaishnavas, they will be automatically be purified. That is the statement of the Skanda Purana. And also, when we visit a devotee's house, this is also very, very auspicious. It may look very superficially different thing, but it is Shastras, it is mentioned that when you visit your Bhakti Vriksha leader, your sector leader, circle servant, president, and Guru Maharaj, or any other Vaishnavas, and it is very, very auspicious for our journey and also for all our spiritual enlightenment. When we visit their house, they receive in a wonderful way. They offer the seat and the water, and they make us, comfortable in the seat. In this way, not only having their association, and also if by mistake if you even touch their lotus feet, and also take their blessings, or have a conversation with them, the Vaishnavas, it is very, very wonderful. So in the Adi Purana, there is the following statement by Lord Krishna himself, addressed to Arjuna. What is that? My dear Partha, one who claims to be my devotee is not so. I repeat, please note this point. My dear Partha, one who claims to be my devotee is not so. Only a person who claims to be the devotee of my devotee is actually my devotee. The Gopi Bharta Padakamalayo Das Dasantas. So no one can approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. One must approach him through his pure devotees. Therefore, in the system of Vaishnava activities, the first duty is to accept a devotee as spiritual master and then render service to him. Tad Vijnanartham Sagurum Eva Vikachet. Like that, we need to approach a guru who is a devotee of the Lord himself. So Rupa Goswami also confirms that all the quotations given in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu from the different scriptures are accepted by the great acharyas and the devotees of the Lord. So here the emphasis is that worship of his devotees is more valuable than worship of the Lord himself. That's why in the temple, daily in all over in ISKCON temples or Bhakti centers, early in the morning when we get up, the first song is Samsara Dava. And the Samsara Dava, we open the curtain and we worship their lordships, we have their darshan, but the song is about the devotee of the Lord, that is a guru of the Lord. Samsara Dava, Nalalida Loka, Pranaya Karunya, Ghana Ganatvam. Like that, we start our morning day with glorifying a devotee of the Lord, who is the Guru himself. So, and also this is the like how the Supreme Lord connected Yudhishthira Maharaj to Bhishmadev. This is none other than the correct proper channel, and this is the parampara. And he did not connect to anybody, and he connected to the right person, Bhishmadeva. So, if any preacher is there, if any devotee of ISKCON here, they should connect to his leader and to the Guru Maharaj. And this is the proper way. First of all, we should get connected. Then we should connect the general public also to Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj will take care. Normal people, they hold, no, I will invite him on the next day or that day. So that is not required. Immediately, we should invite them to the temple, and we should also introduce our Guru, like when we take him to Srila Prabhupada. And now when we enter into the temple, first we pay obeisances to Guru, that is our Parama Guru, Srila Prabhupada. And later we come and have the darshan of their lotus feet like that. Similarly, we should connect the new devotees also to our Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, etc. Because Krishna himself has proved here that Yudhishthira Maharaj is connected to Bhishma Dev. So his pure devotees are, always sound in body and mind by dint of their spiritual enlightenment. For example, Srila Prabhupada, when he was very old, around 69, 70 years old, he traveled to America. So there he faced a lot of challenges, and it is not only the traveling, but also the association with the worldly minded people, hippies, and so many other egoistic fellows. Prabhupada had to meet, and he came with the flying colors to India. And at that time, Srila Prabhupada was more glorified. Hey, this person, from India, he went to America. There he established a wonderful organization, and it is spreading all over the world. Let us see who is that person who went from India. Like that, Prabhupada became very famous. So, and also here, these pure devotees are always sound in body and mind, means because of their connecting with the Guru Parampara, they become very strong. Now, you see, our Guru Maharaj also, though he is not feeling well, and still he executes all the services, and he takes the devotees association, he gives initiation, and recently the Vrindavan Safari Yatra, he wanted just like any other devotee also, he also goes like that. But he is on a wheelchair, but he is not feeling well. Guru Maharaj does not feel like that. And also we should note one point. We should never have any, pity on Guru Maharaj. Oh, Guru Maharaj is like this. He is, unable to travel. Those concepts we should not keep in our mind. Guru Maharaj is always sound in body and mind, always. And only thing, the service given to us is praying for him. So we should simply pray so that my Guru Maharaj should be very strong in body and mind, so that I can get his blessings. In this way, our prayer mode should be, and we should not feel very pity or morose. We should always be happy because Guru Maharaj knows what to do, what not to do. And in spite of all difficulties, his body is maintained by Krishna himself. Okay, so Bhishmadeva, although apparently living like a worldly man, is far superior to many great sages, even to Vasudeva also. Similarly, in the current scenario, see, today is 3rd April 2024, and Kali Yuga. And if any Vaishnava, a sincere Vaishnava is there, he is also superior to all the mundane people in the world. So when a Vaishnava goes to office or business or any other outside world, and because he is following the 4 regulator principles, and also he's chanting more than 16 rounds and having devotees association and worshipping the lordships, he is very strong enough, and he is automatically far superior than anybody. So the devotees are very, very important. So finally, I will narrate some small story in this context. Like sometime back, our leaders like Varaha Prabhu and Vijayanath Prabhu, they also mentioned many stories like Kanchipurna. Kanchipurna was a great devotee. He was fanning, and Lord said, "No, you cannot reach." Then he went and served the Vaishnavas on the cart. So actually, Kanchipurna is identified by anybody very easily because he was very famous. So nobody would give him service. So he disguised himself with a turban, and he did the Vaishnava Seva, and he came back. Finally, he told. Lord asked him, "Hey, Kanchipurna, how was the service?" Then Kanchipurna was mentioning, in fact, my dear Lord, worshipping your devotees is actually more sweeter than worshipping you. That's why I told you, you should worship my devotees. In this way, Kanchipurna has got a wonderful enlightenment. Similarly, there is one Kanchi Ganesh. There is a wonderful story in Puri. Since we are going to Puri, this story is also very wonderful. Once there was a Purushottama Deva. Purushottama Deva, he was there in uh, Odisha near Puri. He was ruling a kingdom. And once he happened to come to South India, Tamil Nadu, and there he happened to see the princess of Kanchi. Her name was Padmavati. So Purushottam Dev and Padmavati, they had a love at first sight. So they wanted to marry. So later what happened, the king of Kanchi, he was a strong devotee of Ganesh. So one day, this Kanchi minister had been sent by King of Kanchi to Orissa to you go and see that King Purushottama and you give me the feedback. So the minister went to Puri, and at that time there was a great Rath Yatra, as you know, for the last for the decades and decades had been, this Rath Yatra has been conducting. So he came at the time of Rath Yatra. So as usual, King Purushottam Deva, and he came with a golden broom, and he wanted to sweep in front of the Lord because the Lord is about to start his car Rath Yatra. And there, this minister saw him, and hey, he is the supreme king, but he is sweeping just like a Sudra. Then he felt very bad of that, and he went back to Tamil Nadu, Kanchi, and he reported to the king that your person whom you want to be a son-in-law, he is just like acting like a chandala. He was having a broom and he was sweeping on the road. Then King Kanchi also felt very insult that. So no, 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 I don't want to give my daughter to him. And I tell him that uh, I don't give him my daughter in marriage, and instead, you announce there is a Swayamvar. So after hearing this news, Purushottam Deva, he felt very bad, and it became an insult not for him but for the Supreme Lord Jagannath. Hey, you say I'm sweeping in front of not anybody's house, but in front of the Supreme Lord, and Jagannath means he is the Lord of the universe, and we should never feel proud of ourselves. Then the talks went on. Finally, they came to uh, fight each other, and there was an agreement. If Purushottam Deva loses the war, the deities of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, they should reach uh, Tamil Nadu, their Kanchi, and they should be placed behind Ganesh. Ganesh should be front, and their Jagannath should be backside. And this is the one agreement. On the other side, if uh, this king of Kanchi, if he loses, this Ganesh Vigraha has to reach Puri and to be placed behind Lord Jagannath. That was the agreement. So the war, war has started. In the meanwhile, what happened? Purushottam Deva, it is the camp, it set on fire. So he was really upset. Oh my God, this camp and soldiers, some of the soldiers, they got injured, and there is a uh, chance, I may lose this war. I don't mind if I lose the war, but my Swami, Jagannath Swami, he should not, be defeated. He should not get any insults. That was his determination. That night he prayed, Lord Jagannath, oh my Jagannath, whatever happens, whatever the difficulties happen, that you please don't mind, and you please see that you win. It's not I win, but you prove that you are the Supreme Lord. Now it is left to you. Whether you prove or if you don't prove, it is up to you. Then he prayed very strongly that night, and the next day he started with his army, and he started to Kanchi. So in the morning, what happened? Uh, Two great brothers. They were, they were riding on a horse, and one is riding a black horse, the other is riding a white horse. They were riding, and on the way, there is a place in Orissa. On the way, they stopped for a while, and one lady came to give a buttermilk for them. Her name was Manika. So their lordships drank very nicely. Actually, they were not thirsty. How can Lord Jagannath be thirsty or hungry? The Lord is always Sachidananda. So the Lord, he wanted to give some mercy for that lady who was selling the buttermilk. So the Lord themselves, Jagannath Baldev, they stopped, and they asked buttermilk. They drank all the buttermilk, then said Tata goodbye. Then the lady was asking, money. I am living on this money by selling the buttermilk. You should please give me some barter, some exchange. Then Lord Jagannath himself, he took a ring and he gave to that lady. Okay, so you keep it with you. One king, one man will follow us, and you hand over the ring to him, and you collect the money. Like that, they said, and they went away. So Purushottam Deva, he came with his soldiers. He was riding at the front, and in the meanwhile, this Manika stopped Purushottam Deva and asked, see, this is the ring given. Two brothers look like brothers. One is black, the other is white. And they drank very nicely, but they did not give money. Instead, they gave this ring, and they asked me to hand over this ring and collect money from you. Okay, so Purushottam Deva, he took the drink, and he was astonished to see that there is a wonderful jewel diamond inside. This is none other than, Lord Jagannath in the temple. And tears were flowing in his eyes. And he was saying to that lady, you are so fortunate, and you had the darshan of Lord Jagannath and Baldev. What else you want in your life? And immediately in return, he took the drink. In return, he donated all the nearby villages to that lady. And till today, if you go and see in Orissa, there is a place called Manika Nagar, Manikapur something. It is still there. So then Purushottam Deva, he was full confident now because Lord has appeared, and he was sure that he is going to win the battle. Then he was going. After some time, he came to know that the king of Kanchi had been rigorously defeated by Jagannath and Baldev, and the king felt very, very happy for this. Okay, so in this way, Kanchi Ganesh came to Puri, and he was placed behind Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, and that Kanchi Ganesh is still there. You can go and have his darshan. Okay, some more pastimes are there. Maybe another time I can share because of the time constraint. So thank you very much, Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So here we are supposed to learn how a devotee is greater. The worship of a devotee is much, much greater than the Lord himself. So we should be very careful in these dealings, and we should take shelter of Guru Maharaj immediately. Hare Krishna, open to all of you if you have any questions, comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
We're still enjoying the last pastime of Ganesh Ji. I hope we can go right up to that place and have witnessed Ganesh Ji. Nowadays, they don't allow behind the Jagannath, right? From far, can we see that, Prabhu? Or
we can see. We can see Ekadasi Devi and Narsimha also behind. A lot more pastimes are there inside the temple.
Okay, okay, Prabhu.
We will try.
Yes, Prabhu. We'll try. And this point that how nicely you connected, how the Lord in this case connected Yudhishthira Maharaj to Bhishma Dev. and how we should connect devotees to our leaders and Yatra leader, and then connected directly to Guru Maharaj. That beautiful method was explained very nicely. That was a very nice takeaway for me. And now we should not think, use our own mental compassion. We'll invite him for the next festival or next Sunday. Immediately, when the moment we see a new devotee, how we should connect him to, leaders and Guru. That was a beautiful point. There are so many. I'll want others to share their points.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Lord and Baldeva, they fought and the war, and the people who got killed, they are so lucky. They got killed by God, so they will get moksha.
Yes, yes. Okay, the time is up. So His Grace, anyway, we stop the session here. His Grace Vaikunthapati Das is getting married 21st April. And he said he would like to invite all of you. And he said he would join the Zoom session and invite all of you. Looks like has not joined. Maybe you would have forgotten. Anyway, I stop the recording here and we'll go with the